How's it going, guys? This is Franco Soto with the Harlingen Public Library Reference Department, back again with another how-to video for y'all. Today we're going to be going over how to make your own happy birthday cards on Microsoft Publisher, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, if you don't have Publisher on your desktop, just go ahead and go to the search bar and type in Publisher, and it should pop up right here. Once it's popped up, just click on it. That should open it up. We're going to choose this option right here. It's a landscape option because we do want 1 and 2 sides of the card. So let's go ahead and open that up. Once this is open, we're going to want to make this right here a lot narrower. These are called margins. And the way we do that is we go to Page Design, Margins, and make them narrow. The reason we want them narrow is because if not, we would have had a really thick white border. And so we want to get that border as thin as possible. Afterwards, we're going to want to go ahead and add some guides. That way it'll show us exactly where the center of this document is, and that'll help us kind of center things on either side of the card, okay? So we will go to where it says guides, choose this first one right here, and that adds these little guides, and they're here in this like kind of very light green. So we want a front and back of the card, obviously. So we will go ahead and go to this side where it says pages. We will right click and insert a duplicate page. That inserts the exact same guides and margins as the previous one. Alrighty, so from here, let's go ahead and grab a quote from the internet. And I wanna make kind of like a happy birthday to a friend card. So I looked up funny birthday quotes for friends on Google, and I found a pretty funny one on this website right here. So let's go ahead and scroll down here. I believe it was the 5th quote on this list. Yes, here it goes. It says, "Happy birthday to one of the few people whose birthday I can remember without a Facebook reminder." Something that's just a modern take on happy birthday. So we're going to highlight it like I just did. I'll do it again just to show you guys. Highlight it, right click, and press copy. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and go down here, click onto that first document. Now this first page is going to be my inside page. So I will right click and paste. It leaves it in this very large text box. So I'm going to try to make that text box fit inside of these margins that I have here, just by dragging these little areas right here. So the way you drag it is you wait until it gets this little arrow, and then you can move it as you'd like. And you'll have these little dotted lines, and that'll kind of show you how wide or narrow it's going to be. So in order to move it, you wait till it shows this little like cross thing, and you can move those corners into those guidelines right there. I'm going to drag this guy over here to this other eye, and there we go. So obviously this is too small to read. We're going to just left click and highlight. That will open this up, and we're going to do 2 things here. One of them is change the font. So let's go ahead and do that. Click down here. 28 should suffice. And then we're also going to want to center this text. So if you look right here and highlight over it, you don't even have to hold anything. Just put the cursor over it, and this little box will pop up that says center, and just click that, and it centers all of your text. I don't like this dash right here, so I'm going to place my cursor right behind the F, press Shift, Enter, and that'll drop it down nice. So once we're here at this point, I like to add some words of my own down here at the bottom, because I like to sign my cards as well. So I'm going to add a text box. The way we do that is we go to Insert up here, and then there is a part that says Draw a Text Box. Once you've clicked on it, it'll give you this thin T, and you can just hold the left button down and drag a box and make it as large as you want. Okay, so here you can type a little message. I'm just going to write something quick. Wishes on your day. I look forward to many more years of friendship. Oop, there we go. All right, so again, this is way too small, so we will just highlight all of the text. Once we've done that, Oh, hold on, that thing didn't pop up. So let me try doing it again. 1 second. Here we go. We highlight the text. It pops up, and I want to say 18 would probably be the best one for us here. Yes, we'll go 18. Remember, guys, don't forget to center. Once you've centered, you're going to want to drag this whole text box around until you see a faint pink line. Once you've seen that faint pink line, that means that you're right in the center of that text above you. And just make sure that you've centered, your text box. Drop it down here, and you are good to go. Oh wait, here's a dash right here. So let's get rid of that dash again by placing the cursor behind the F, holding Shift on our keyboard, and then clicking Enter. And that looks a lot nicer than it did. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and add some color right now. The theme is Facebook, so let's change the color to kind of like a Facebooky blue, but not too dark, because if not, we'll lose this text. In order to do that, you go to Page Design, and then from Page Design, there is a spot over here that says Background. You're gonna click that, it's gonna drop a menu down, and you can choose any of these things or go to More Backgrounds, and it's gonna give you some more options. That gets a little bit more complicated, so let's just choose from one of the options that it gives us initially, since I saw one that was kind of Facebook-like. So I think this one's pretty nice, so let's click on that, and that's gonna change this, or it'll change this page at least. You're gonna need to do it to the same thing to the second page. So just go click on the second page, go to background, and choose that same color once again. Okay, after we've changed the front and the back colors, we can go ahead and try to find maybe some emojis or something like that, some embellishments for our card, okay? So I'm gonna click over here on the second page because this is gonna be the front of my card. Usually right here, you'll have something that says happy birthday or what have you. So let's go ahead and find one of those things. I had found one on Mozilla earlier, and it's up here. One thing I need to mention, guys, is when I searched for it, I looked up happy birthday transparent. Now, transparent's a key word because you want something with a transparent background, okay? And the reason you want something with a transparent background is because if you don't have a transparent background, sometimes you'll get these like weird white blocks behind it, and it just doesn't look nice. So I'm gonna go to my images, and this is the one that I liked a lot. I click that. Now, I'm not sure that it is transparent or not, but we'll go ahead and test that out. Okay, but let me just kind of explain something really quick. Usually when we say transparent background, it means, like I said, that this back here, there's nothing. All you see is the happy birthday floating. Sometimes you'll get these. And if you get these, uh, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's transparent because these blocks might show up later. If you right click and view the image and these boxes are still here, that probably means that those are gonna stay there. And you'll have this like weird, like kind of border around it. So you don't wanna use images like that. Whereas this one, you don't really see those boxes. So you can right click to view the image, and it kind of leaves a faint gray on the background. Usually that's an indication that it may be transparent, but that's not always the case. And the way that you can test that is inserting it into the document, and I'll show you guys how to do that right now. But first off, let's right click and save image as. Now I had already saved it here under birthday. I put it into my downloads folder, but I'll just go ahead and just name it birthday 2. That way we can show you guys how to insert and everything. So you'll just erase that and then just name it something that you'll remember, and then just click save, and that saves it for you. Now we're gonna test that this background actually is transparent, okay? So we'll go back to our publisher document. This is gonna be the front of my card. So I am going to go to insert, okay? And from insert, I go to pictures, and that's gonna give me this menu. I had put it in the downloads folder, so I click on downloads, and here's the images that I had saved. So this is the one that I saved right now. I'll just click on it and then press insert. And as you can see straight through that background. So we're good to go now. I'm gonna make it just a little bit smaller once again to make sure that we fit it into those margins. And let's see here. I'm not getting that pink line here. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. And to me, that looks pretty good. But let's put these margins all the way to the edge. That way we know for sure it fits nicely. Plus it looks a little better. Okay. Now if you click, this blue line right here is too close to this Y as opposed to how much space is here. So I'm gonna make this kind of shrink a little bit. Oh, no, I don't like the way that looks. If you mess up, guys, you can go up here, and this is undo resize object. You'll just undo it, and it looks exactly the way it did before. So I'm gonna grab up here, move this down. There we go, okay. And then again, just try to eyeball it and see. That looks about center to me. Yeah, that looks good. Well, let me move it just a tad. There we go. Okay, I want to throw a little embellishment here at the bottom. I'm going to move it up again. I'm a perfectionist, guys, sorry. Okay, so I want to add something down here. So I Googled, let's see here. I Googled Facebook notification icon transparent. And I found this one that was pretty cool. I already did that test to make sure that it was transparent and everything like that. So click on this, open it up, right click, view the image, faint gray background, right click again, save the image as, and this one has a pretty easy to remember one. It says notification, bell icon PNG, just click save. And let's try to insert it and just double check that it is see-through. We go back again to the insert, go to pictures, double click on it, and there you go, it is see-through. So I'm gonna resize it again from the corner here and drag it to the middle. And you see I get that pink line now? Bam, there we go. And it looks nice and festive there in the front. So from here, we're almost done, guys. I'm gonna make some spacing changes here. So again, I'm moving it up and that looks a lot nicer. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do maybe one or two more things and then we should be able to wrap it up here. Okay, so one of the things I wanna do is add an embellishment on the inside part of my card. And I wanna add something right here just because it looks a little plain Jane to me. And I have something just in mind. So let's go to Mozilla again and open Google. I like the Care React. I think it's one of my favorite Reacts on Facebook this year. So I found a pretty good sized one and it's pretty high resolution. The only thing with this, guys, this one is not a transparent background. I searched high and wide and I could not find a transparent background of this little guy. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys a cool little method of making your own images transparent. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to right click again, view the image, and it's this massive image, right? So I will right click, save image as, Facebook Care React 2020, make sure it's in that downloads folder and click save. So from here, we go back to the publisher and this is where it's gonna get a little tricky, okay? So stay with me, guys. From here, we will go to insert, two pictures, Facebook Care React emoji, double click, and it opens it up. So one major thing you notice is, like I said, you have this massive white square behind it. We want to get rid of that. In order to get rid of that, this is what we're going to do. Make sure that you have it like this. That means that it's highlighted. If you see it has this little box, that means it's highlighted. If you're out here and it's just floating around, it's not highlighted. So go over here, click it, a little dotted line will pop up, click it. That means that image alone is highlighted. From there, we have this one that says recolor. Recolor is under the format options. It may not always pop up, but if you notice, I clicked out of it, it went away. I clicked on it, boom, it went straight to format. So from here, we will go to what is called recolor. We drop that little menu down and a little cheat sheet for you guys here is it says set transparent color. You wanna click on set transparent color and then click on this white area. If you click on the inside, he's just gonna disappear. It's gonna look funky. So you click on this white area and boom, it makes everything transparent that's around him. So we've gone ahead and gotten rid of that ugly white square, right? You click outside of it, and if you notice, it's still a pretty massive square that's around him. So that's a lot of like extra space. So let's make that space kind of go away. Because if you notice, this thing kind of dropped down, it looks funky, and it's just going to kind of mess with things. So we will right click, and right here is something that says crop. Just click crop, and you'll just drag again from the corner, and this little dotted line will appear, and you'll try to get it as close to this little guy as possible. And do the same on this other side. Once again, there we go. And here we go. So right now, this image is interfering with the letters over here. If you want to place an image over here and you don't want it to mess with any of these things, one thing you can do, which is another thing, is right click, and you'll go to right here where it says like, it looks like a little rainbow. That says wrap text. You will drop that little menu down and just click none. If you click none, then I can drag him all over the place and he's just gonna have a grand old time getting in front of everything. Okay, so I don't wanna keep him on this side because he's too big and it's gonna look funky. And like I said, this side is the one that looked a little empty. So let's drag this guy over here. Okay, let's make him just a tiny bit small. There we go, I like that. Okay, move him around just a tad. And there we go. So now we have the inside part of our card looking nice and festive. We have the quote that we wrote, and then we have a space down here that we can, kind of sign our name, etc. This nice little embellishment, and this is the outside of our card. Now, once we have this outside of the card already done and the inside of the card done, just go ahead and sign it down here. And you can put by whatever your name is. So by doing that, again, we're gonna insert a text box. Go to insert, go to draw a text box, and you can make a little small one here. And I'm just gonna put by Franco S. There we go. I highlight it, I center it, make it kind of bold, and then maybe I'll raise it to, let's go 16. There we go. And then I'll just drop it here, close towards the bottom. Alrighty, so that still doesn't look too much in the middle. Let me just drag a little bit. I know. A little bit more. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. And bam. Okay, that's the middle. And so, like I said, we have the inside, the outside. This is the center where you're going to fold it. And now you're ready to print. So when you print, this is a crucial part of the process because you want to make sure that everything's on the right side and everything's going to flip correctly. Okay. If you follow this pattern, you're bound to get it right. I printed out multiple copies just to make sure. And so if you put happy birthday on this side and this on this side, and you follow this exactly, you will be able to get a perfectly placed card. But that won't mean anything if we don't print it correctly. So let's go ahead and let me show you what to put on, or what, I guess, settings to put so that you'll print it correctly. Okay. One thing I do want to add, just as a quick reminder, if you do have it available or if you can find it, try to print this out on cardstock paper. It's a much thicker grade paper than your regular kind, and it'll give the card a more, actual real feel as opposed to just printing it on regular copy paper. Other than that, there are also some specific settings that you're going to want to use when printing this out. So let me go ahead and show you that really quick. First off, we're going to go to File, Print, and here we will say Print, two-sided print, flip on the short edge. Okay? You got to make sure you print on the short edge, because if not, it'll flip the image and the this guy will be upside down and he'll end up on this side, and it looks funky. So make sure that when you're going to print, you print two-sided and flip sheets on the short edge. Okay. If you have the option to choose black and white or color, of course, just drop that menu down and choose your color printer, and that'll show you exactly how it is. And a way to check, if you want to double check, is just remember, this is the inside, this is the part that they're gonna read, right? And then you flip the card around, and there you go. Images aren't upside down and it's like that. You're good to go. From there, just click print, and that's it, guys. Now, remember, and I know this is probably something that's super, super obvious, but you don't only have to make birthday cards with this. You can also make Mother's Day cards, Father's Day cards, anything under the sun you can make. I just recently made my mom a Mother's Day card, and I'm about to make my dad a Father's Day card. So this is really an all occasions kind of template for you guys, okay? I really enjoyed doing this, guys, and we're gonna be doing a lot more of these in the coming weeks due to the quarantine and all that. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to like us on Facebook, and you'll get the notifications whenever we do upload these videos, okay, guys? Once again, my name is Franco Soto for the reference department here at the Harlingen Public Library, and y'all have a good one. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.